Welcome to the webinar, ma'am. So today's host will be Abhilasha Nayak. Abhilasha, over to you.
Yes. Hi, ma'am. Good
Hi.
evening, everyone. Yeah. So welcome to today's webinar. I'm Abhilasha, and I'm truly excited to have you all here. We are especially honored to have Salma Moosa, ma'am, with us today. Thank you, Salma, for joining us. Um, we are honored to welcome Salma Moosa, the founder and the president of 1277 Ventures, with over 4 decades of experience spanning multiple industries. Salma is distinguished leader in business growth execution. She has pioneered a proven structured methodology that helps mature startups and established business accelerate revenue, align teams with organizational vision, and unlock new markets. A global recognized deep technology commercialization expert, she has played a pivotal role in taking innovative products to international markets and driving consistent revenue growth. Through her strategic leadership at 1277 Ventures, Salma continues to deliver measurable and predictable bottom line results for organizations worldwide. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Now, just give me 1 minute. I am just sending a picture of mine. In fact, I would like to share the screen here. Can I share my screen?
Yes,
Sure,
ma'am,
yeah.
sure.
Okay. So till I get this thing done for everybody, I know it's an evening, Tuesday evening. I'm sure all of you are tired, drained out, and maybe a little drowsy or bored. So before I get started, first of all, Abhilasha, how much time do I have to speak? How much time is the preferred time? Could you just tell me?
Ma'am, 45 to 50 minutes, ma'am.
Yes.
So 50 minutes is a good amount of time. And trust me, if we don't see faces, then what's going to happen is that most probably most of you will sleep. So can I request all of you to, if possible, to quickly, switch on your cameras if you are available and if you're, ready to do so. And quickly, if all of you could just take 10 seconds and just tell me your name and, what are you into? Like, what is it that is, let me put a question here because it's about reinvention, right? What about you do you want to upgrade today as we sit? You might say, I want to upgrade my communication, I want to upgrade my what do you say, ability to network, I want to upgrade my health, I want to upgrade my education quality or anything, right? Anything that comes your mind. So quickly, can we do that? 10 seconds round, no names taken. I think quickly, if you go ahead and do it, that would be great. Can we do that? 5 minutes? Otherwise, I'll call out names. Just unmute, open your the camera and tell me. And what do you say? Shitija, I think you've switched on the camera. Good to see you. Please go ahead. You can start.
So two, three upgradations at this point in time: health, network, capacity building, because I am looking out for a higher post. So probably I need this with 20 years of experience I have right now. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Mausam, Aurora. Okay, we are not going to give so much time, guys. Come on. See, visibility is also important. Everyone would come to know about you. Dipti?
Hi, Mosam this side.
Yes, Mausam. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I am into service delivery excellence and having 20 plus years of experience, and I am just learning AI to keep a pace into the market and to run with the market.
Nice, very nice. And what do you want to upgrade about you?
I want to upgrade into latest technologies and to drive things end to end. When we speak in terms of artificial intelligence or data science, yeah, we need a lot of domains are there. We have to uh, draw a roadmap and drive the product essence from end to end.
Excellent. Because of the time, and I don't want to be waiting for everyone, Unless and until you guys go ahead and unmute your audio and speak, I will just take two more. Divakar Gupta, would you like to share with us about you and what you want to upgrade? Pratiksha, good to see you. Go ahead, Pratiksha, unmute and tell us. You're muted.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Pratiksha Suryavanshi. I'm from. Am I
Can't
audible?
hear you. Okay, I think let's move on. First of all, it's good to see that only females are switching on their cameras. I would love to see faces. I'm not that good with just talking to black screens. I'm a very people's person. Even if you don't speak, thank you so much, Rakshita. Please switch on your cameras. I'd love to speak to faces and expressions. And now, as the topic is about reinventing yourself, let me just share one screen to you and give you 2 minutes to look at. Hiren, can you mute your audio? Do you see this picture? That was me almost 5 years back, December 6, 2020. That was me, almost 120 kilos. And absolutely in a place of unhealthy lifestyle, literally had everything that was wrong with my body, from diabetes to joint pains to mental illness, depression, eating habits disorders, you name it, emotional eating, binge eating, all that health wise. Professionally, I had just come out of a failed big business, right? I would not call it a startup. It started as a startup, but when it failed pre pandemic, it was valued at a few $1 million. It was one of the global's largest business, but came crashing down. I had literally come to a point in the form of building that business. I had lost a lot of my relationships, friends, even my family had walked away from me. That smiling face that you see over there was covered with a lot of pain, hurt, disappointments, and actually to the point of giving up. That, the next picture that you saw, yes, added on with a few filters of Snapchat, not completely like who I sit here, but exactly me. It was 2 days back. And where I am absolutely, I'm just a few kilos away from my ideal weight. I am a mentally, emotionally, physically strong person. I have a clear roadmap for the growth of my professional journey. I am building small baby steps of healthy relationship with my family. And I'm at a place where I have clear set goals, which I'm working on daily basis. So with that, I'd like to start on today's topic, right? Today's topic is about reinvention of yourself, which is not a magic. It just happened to happen. It is not by chance. So we are going to talk about a few things in today's session. First, I'm going to talk to you about my journey, how it happened, right? Now, I understand I told you that I was in a bad state when I decided to reinvent myself. But the fact of the matter is, you don't have to be in a bad state to reinvent yourself. That's one of the biggest myths that I'm going to debunk today. That you do not have to be a failure. You do not have to be someone who's lost everything or is about dark space or is confused in the journey, or you're looking at different gigs and you don't know what you want to take. Not necessary. Absolutely not necessary. Reinvention can happen at all times. I'm going to give you a business example, right? And how are we different from a business? Literally in 2020, 6th of December, I took up myself as Project Salma to reinvent myself, right? So I'll give you an example. Much before today's Ubers and Olas, we always had taxi services, right? We always had taxi services. We could pick up the phone, call someone, or go to the office, book a cab, and make the payment and come. And on that fixed time and address, that person would be there. But then people wanted more. So they invented themselves, reinvented. The taxi business remained the same, but they came up with like call on request. You don't have to reach to the office. You can just pick up the phone, call someone, and they will send the taxi. Then a next level of reinvention happened where they created a platform and they said, you can book cabs there. And further, Uber developed where even car owners who had the resources, time, money could also sign up as drivers, right? So that is reinvention of business. But why not us? Why not ourselves? Why not we look at ourselves as reinventions, right? And that was one of the reasons that I started working on myself. Project Salma started because I knew that I was capable of much more. My story was not going to end as a fat, old, sick lady alone by herself who died of, XYZ. My story, I decided, was to bring my best version out professionally, personally, and in every which way.
I will send it. May I know your room number?
Thank you. So that decision is something that you will make, right? But then before I get started, I cannot go into the session without talking about the one individual who helped me through this. Please understand, there are things that you can do by yourself, but there are things that you definitely need professional help. From 6th of December 2020 till February around, I think, by January end is when I was introduced to somebody as a business and a wellness coach. I was somebody who never believed in coaching and all that. So I had developed myself. I'd really come to a point where I was fit, but I was not consistent. I was doing things which was right for me, but I was definitely not clear on discipline and how and where am I going. I was trying multiple things in my career, in my professional journey. I was mentoring, I was doing investment deal closures, I was working with clients to help their sales growth. I was literally exploring multiple things. I wasn't clear where I was heading. Again, that was a choice that I took, to know that I have reached this far, but from here I need the right help. So please note, in this next 40 minutes, when I talk about reinvention, at any point of time, you would be required to take professional help. There are coaches, there are people who could help, but identifying the right coach was important. My coach, my complete the credit that I give, and I'm absolutely grateful, is someone who you will all, definitely know by the end of this session. But in the chat, I'm putting his website. Do look through. We will talk at the end in the Q&A in regards to him. But the reason why we're putting this now in the beginning is because as I go forward, there will be multiple times you will ask yourself this question, saying, okay, you know what? It's okay, she did it. How am I to do it? Her case is different. How will I do it? She's an entrepreneur, but I'm looking for jobs, or I am working in a place, I'm a professional. It's very easy to detach yourself from an example. And that's where a professional help comes really useful, where they will understand your bottlenecks, they will understand and move forward. Okay, So with that, let's get started with this thing. You've understood my journey. I've come this far, 5 years. If somebody, when I started, would have told me, Salma, you're going to take 5 years or 5+ years to become your best version, I might not have even started. Because for me, everything was quick fix, and we live in a world of overload of information. We live in a, that 15 seconds reels, right? We believe our life is also 15 seconds reels, that by the time 15 seconds gets over, we are perfect as a product. Why? Because there are others putting the reels of that. We live in that world. But the practical is, you don't get to change, reinvent, and work on yourself in that short period of time. It takes a lot of persistence and, what do you say? Fight, right? It takes a lot of fight within you to keep pulling yourself every single day, to keep asking yourself, how committed are you for yourself? I've done that. I'm going to quickly take this few examples of some case studies that happened in my journey. This is real case studies, okay? And I'm going to stop there with asking some, opening it for some questions, so that you can actually ask some questions about how it happened, because we are still at a part where I'm talking about my reinvention journey, right? This one fine day, and I'm talking about around a year. So the first year I started from 95, 96 kilos, touching 100 aram se, and the first year the weight crashed. I had lost around 28 kilos. I looked absolutely stunning. And, when you are a fat girl in the room for all your life, right, from obese, you kind of become this person where everyone looks at you with judgment. Everyone is like, oh, okay, she doesn't care for herself, or she might be addicted to food, or she can't control herself. I might be a mentor, people might look up to me for business suggestions and things like that. But when it came to my self care, they all had those judgments on me, right? So after being that, suddenly in 1 year's time, I was this fit person. I had run a marathon. I looked beautiful. In fact, I always look beautiful, but that time, for from the people's point of view, I look beautiful and I was more approachable. So everyone starts saying, oh wow, Salma, this is so great, that's so great, you look so nice, and suddenly, I don't know how it got into my head. And guess what? Fast forward the second year, I had put on 15 kilos. Supposedly in my head, I was getting up and doing my workouts. I was doing my walking. I was doing my dieting, everything, right? But I still had put on 15 kilos. And can anyone, do you want to know how I did that? Because everyone will talk about losing weight, but will anyone talk to you about how they again put back that weight the second year? Because what I would do is I would start walking, and I would just go stroll outside for 2 hours, 3 hours, and then come back saying, oh, I did my workouts. How much calories did I burn? Hardly anything, around 200-300 calories. And then full week I would do my right dieting, right food, right eating, measuring calories, everything. Come Saturday, Sunday, because of these, all the friends saying, oh wow, Salma, you look so good, you're this, excited to be around people. Go out there, party, eat. So whatever I've lost in that week, I would put on in that weekend. And this continued. So in my head, I was like, I'm still working out, I'm still dieting, I'm still focusing on my food, I am still on my regime. But frankly, I was not. And can you believe this? I'm going to show you something again, because you know what? Seeing is believing. And that's what I'm going to show you now. I've literally recorded every single day of my 5 years. And I'm going to show you this one graph, which you will yourself know how this 5 years of reinvention has been for me. And if you notice, right, that was when it hit me that I might have reached here, but going from here to there is not completely on me. I won't be able to do it by myself. And that's when I had to reach out to the right help, right? And that is where I realized how I was missing out on discipline, how I was missing out on consistency, how I was assuming that I was on my regime. And those were the challenges that you will face, which you will not know now, which you will not know now. But when you get started on your journey, that's when you will know. So the most important thing in this first example of mine, what I'm telling you, is that reinvention is nothing that happens to us by chance. I'll repeat this again. Nothing's going to happen to you by chance. If you think today by listening to this talk, going and thinking about it, writing some journal or making some points, it's going to one fine day happen to you, no. It's a skill that you take. It's the thing that you choose for yourself and you start working on it. So, once again, I ask you, what is it that you want to upgrade in yourself? I would request all of you to take a paper and pen and write down at least top 2-3 things what you want to reinvent yourself to, starting off from today. Okay, I'm going to give you 1 minute to do that. And I would definitely want you to, if all of you can on the chat, some of you please put in one thing that you want to upgrade in the going forward from what you learn from here. Okay, because that is going to play a key role for you, because what happens is if you know what you're going to upgrade on, you'll be able to pick up the learnings that I'm giving you. You'll be able to ask me questions from your perspective, saying, Salma, I want to do this, but in this, how can I, figure out my consistency? How can I know that I'm slipping? Your questions will be more specific. That's something that will be very useful to you. So till you write on the chat, this is quickly what I'm going to show you. Year 1, if you see, I started from 9 and it was 94.6 when I started. And that was my good weight, right? I used to go to 105 and all that. Every month I would record this and it came down to 74.6. Then year 2, see, it went up. From 74, I came back to 82.8. Year 3, from 83, I was, I used to go up and down, but remain there. Year 4, again, it was a straight line. Now this is year 5. And if you see, I started with 79 and this last month I was 78.1. So my journey has not yet ended. My reinvention is completely not ended. But it is a choice that I make that I want to keep improvising. So I don't see any chats coming. No one to write. Are you guys sitting and making me talk and doing your own stuff over there? Come on, guys. Help me here. So moving on to the next one. The myth of reinventions, right? These are all myths. I'm going to just debunk a few things, right? That you have to reinvent yourself only after you've failed or you've lost something. I told this earlier. You don't have to be at your lowest best to reinvent yourself. I must have been working on my fitness from 2020. But frankly, I actually started reinventing myself professionally, personally, emotionally, financially, and I'm going to touch on all these, right? At the time when I was at my good stage, year 4, last year, when I took the professional help and with my coach, I started working on it. So one of the first belief I want you to throw it out from your head is that you have to be failing or you have to be in your lowest most to start reinventing yourself. And reinvention is not an escape. It is an evolution. When I say escape, right, most often, like I told you, right, most often what we do is, you know what, let me talk professionally. I've been working in this company and I don't see my growth happening, or my boss is a bad boss. I really want a change. So instead of looking for another job or looking at it, you know what, I want to escape this job. I don't want to reinvent myself. I want to leave this job. So what you say is, okay, you know what, I need to rework on myself. I'll quit this job and start looking for another one, right? And in that process, you start thinking you can reinvent yourself. So please reinvent yourself because you want a better version of you, not because you're escaping from something. One of the most important quote I've written here is, growth is painful, change is painful, but not doing anything and getting stuck is even worse. And this was none other than Narayana Murthy, is who had said this. And I know I don't go along with many things he's recently said, but I definitely go along with this quote, where not doing anything about you is the biggest painful thing, the most painful thing that you can do for yourself. Change is difficult. You think these 5 years have not been difficult for me? I literally ended my, 18 years of co-founding with a co-founder and decided to start myself because I believed I could do much more impactful work, which I enjoy doing. And hence I took that. And do you think it was easy to do that? It wasn't easy. It was painful. It was scary. I was like, 18 years I've co-founded with this person. Will I even be strong enough? I remember telling my coach one day in one of my coaching sessions, and I told him, I don't know to do business or mentor, or I don't know what I will do without my co-founder, right? That's how scary it was. And the way he was able to unfold this journey, show me my strengths and weaknesses, I was able to identify. But coming to the point that if you're fearing pain, if you're fearing change, getting stuck and being just where you are is even more painful, which you will not realize now, but you'll realize much later in life. So I'm going to stop here for some questions. Again, there's complete silence on the other side. Abhilasha, I would request your help in asking people to ask me questions. In this first part, I've told you about my journey, and I've also told you things that you should not be believing when it comes to reinvention. Before I move on to the skills needed for reinvention, I would open it for Q&A.
I have a question from
Yes.
my side.
Yes.
So like what are the, like some qualities we have to develop in this consistency, to maintain. So like you said in your journey, like you were consistent till last month or till date. So how we can do that? Like we are taking, in this era, like we are taking some breaks, then we are going into, so those qualities I want to know how we can, be consistent.
That's a brilliant question, Abhilasha. Brilliant question. And this is something that I think will be very, very useful for all of you. So, for a very long time from the time I started, first I'll tell you my case study and then I'll tell you the answer exactly what you're asking for. From the time I started, I felt 5 days of strict workout regime and everything, and sixth day being a holiday, a rest day, or a cheat day is my consistent quotient. I said, if I retain that, I am consistent. So for 3-4 years, what happens, you know us, right? When we start out, we don't do that. We do 3 days and then we take a rest day, and then again showing back on the next day after the rest day is difficult. You're like, oh, we rested one more day, let's rest the next day also. Then it'll be a weekend. So, okay, weekend, let's finish our weekend, I'll start from Monday. So this was going on and on and on. So there came a point after 3-4 years, in my head, I was like, I can't be consistent. I don't know how to be consistent. I started using applications. I started writing journals. I started even having, you know what? I used to have 5 alarms go off on my phone just to make me get up at 5 o'clock to go for my run. 6 o'clock to finish my meditation, 8 o'clock to journal. I used to have alarms, but if we don't intend to do it right, I would switch off the alarm and sleep. So this is happening all the time. That was when, in one of the sessions, when I sat with my coach and I said, okay, I'm not consistent. I literally told him this. I said, I am good at everything what I do. I know my formula. I know my diet. I know my workouts. I know what I have to do, but I am not a consistent person. At that time, he gave me one example. He said, consistency is not something that you have to show up every day. Consistency is that you have to show up just enough for you to retain what you are doing. And then he put a formula to me. He said, instead of doing 5 days and taking a 6-day holiday, basically in a month, you're taking 4 or 5 days holiday, correct? So what he said, for you to be consistent, don't see this as a 5+1. Your mind should say you're consistent if in a month you slip 5 or less times. So in a 1 month's time, if you take 5 rest days and 5 days you miss your workouts, you are consistent. Now you take it for 5 days in continuous way, or you take it in the in short intervals. It's up to you. But if you are not consistent, meaning if you take more than 5, then you're not consistent. Then we'll see how to address, right? But the moment that got done, guys, in my head, right, that pressure to show up every day went away. I was like, I have 5 days of rest days, right? So the moment that pressure came down off my head that I have to show up today, oh, it's my 6th day, I have to take rest today, tomorrow I have to do that. The moment that have to became, I can rest for 6 days, right? Then immediately I would say, oh, okay, I'm traveling next week, so maybe that time I'll take holidays. So then I'll go a full week to this week. Next week I'll take holidays. So I'll start calculating my 5 days in a month. Then when I started traveling, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm staying in a hotel which has a gym, yeah. I have the time. I'll do it off now. Maybe when I go back, I'll be tired. I'll rest then. So now without the pressure on you, you were able to get up aram se and do it without fail. And then slowly after 2-3 months, it came to a point where I just like how today to any of you, nobody tells you to get up and brush your teeth, right? Or get up and, whatever, have your breakfast or, get ready to work. No one tells you that. Slowly in 2-3 months, it became that. Then I would just get up and say, okay, yeah, I have the time, I'll just go for a run. And now in the last 2-3 months, I have just been slipping 1 or 2 days in a month. Just because of 3 things. Now, to answer your question clearly, 3 things. One is to set a formula which is not a pressure on you, which you don't have to drag yourself out every day. Do it as more fun, more as it's okay. If I want, I'll do. If I don't want, I can miss. Second thing, fix your formula of consistency. Because he was able to give me that 5 days in a month, for me, the pressure went off. So fix that formula. For me, consistency at this phase is this. Like, for example, Abhilasha, for you, you said you're looking out. No, it was somebody else. What is your upgrade that you're looking out for?
Same health.
Health, right? So in
Yes.
your case, you just say, okay, I want to walk every day. So in a month, if I walk for 25 days, that's consistency. And you can say, if I walk for half an hour this month, every day, that's a beginning. Or if I have to run, or if I have to just do workouts. So put small goals,
Both.
don't pressure yourself, and do something enjoying. Like what I do is the day I like walking outside, I walk. Like, I started with 2,000 steps. But today, you know how many steps I do? I do 50,000 steps. Every morning at 3:30, I'm out on the tracks. Right? So I started with 2,000 steps. But the day I get bored with walking, I go to the gym and I run in the treadmill. The day I get bored with running in the treadmill, I just go run on the road, right, on the footpath. So keep changing. The activity is important. And
Yes,
but
so
what
yeah.
it is not. So keeping these mindsets will help you become consistent. It's not a skill.
Yeah.
Consistency is a choice that you make for yourself, saying that I want to do this.
That's right. Correct. Yeah.
Perfect.
Got
I
it.
hope I was able to answer your question.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Any other question?
I have a question, ma'am.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kshitija here.
Yeah, Kshitij.
So now I'm getting what I actually need to upgrade. Okay. I told you health and professional growth, but now I know that I need to change from a professional to an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And I'm trying that from past 3 months. I'm not saying trying meaning financially or anything, but getting out of in that mindset.
Okay.
Somewhere I have a feeling I'll really do good, but then I'm like lost. What do I do?
Okay.
So that's the biggest challenge for me. I'm not able to, at least in the health wise, like same like you. I was weighing a lot last year. I did a lot of things and very consistent. I dropped down by 20 kgs or everything. Now again I've started putting on. So health wise I'm getting an answer, but I might as well thought I'll ask you a question where I'm not getting an answer elsewhere. How do I change my mindset?
Perfect. I think that's another very good question. The things that we do for our any kind of reinvention is purely the same formula. Okay. 1 is consistency, 2 is discipline, 3 is choice, 4 is to make sure that you invest yourself into it. And in your case, Kshitija, the first thing is keeping exactly your case in mind. First and foremost, how much of you are you giving? See, what we usually do is when there is a transition from a work to a entrepreneur or a job to another job or one city to another city, right? There is always this thing you say, you're thinking all the time about it, but you are not sitting and doing something about it, right? That is where the slip is. If only what I'm thinking can become reality, trust me, I would be Princess Diana right now, or maybe better than her, right? Because the thinking remains a thought, it's the action that matters. Just like how I told you with my health, that 2,000 steps need to start, that getting out of the bed needs to start. The same way in your case. The first thing is today, if I have to become an entrepreneur, what do I need to give to that entrepreneur? Detach yourself from that and see Kshitija, the entrepreneur, as another individual and say, what does she need? She needs time from me. She needs my skill sets.
Sound for me.
Sorry? Yeah. Bharat, you said something? Okay. She needs time, she needs skill set, she might need also money, she might need, what you say, possible connections. Put all that up. But to put that up, you have to give it time. You can't be running and going and doing it, right? So first start with time. From today, Kshitija is going to give her entrepreneurial self 1 hour of her day every day, or 2 hours of a day, 3 hours of a day. Put a block on your calendar and sit over there in a corner of your own and start putting time on that. And if you don't have anything to do for 3 hours now, do some research on what you like and don't like. Look at the, play around thoughts. Okay. I'll tell you very quickly what to do. But having said that, play around the thoughts of your interest. Please understand that starting a business is a marriage. It's not a live-in relationship. You are not going to start it and 6 months time you become successful and you move on. No, it's a lifestyle change. You have to give your at least 5 years, minimum 5 years to it. If you're lucky, otherwise 10 years. I've been in business for 30 years. Right? So you have to say, okay, what is it that I will keep going back with interest and doing? What will pay money? So do all this research. So give it time, block your time. Put your skill set list. What am I good at? Am I good at networking? Am I good at creating an application? Am I a techie strong person? Am I a marketing strong person? Salesperson? Like this, the moment you allocate time, you will start seeing the work happening. And then at the trial stage, always do a fresh trial. Like how for me, year one, I didn't take a coach, I didn't do anything, right? I did my own trial. I started walking, I started eating less, I started sleeping. So in your case, as an entrepreneur, zero investment, go on Facebook or Instagram, create an account of whatever you want to do, free of cost, put some pictures, put some videos of your own, start talking to people, selling, see if you get any interest from clients. That is called an MVP, minimum viable product. But you start exploring that. So the same things fall for it also. Reinvention is reinvention. Consistency, if you're able to put 4 days in a week for this, that is consistency. I'm just giving examples. You choose what works for you. Discipline. When you put those 4 hours, how productive are you? What all are you doing? It's not like sitting and scrolling on reels and saying I was trying to be an entrepreneur or I was researching. So be disciplined, be productive. Keep evaluating yourself. These are few things that you can do, and it's all decisions. Last question before I move on. Shall we move on? So here are some skills for reinvention, and this applies in every aspect of your life. You want to reinvent for your health, for your wealth, for your mental space, for your relationships, for your career, for your savings, for everything. First is self-awareness. Please be very aware of yourself in that situation, knowing when you're plateauing, outgrowing your environment. I'll take another example. Okay. Saving money. We all feel we should save some money, right? Whatever we are doing jobs, or we are doing entrepreneurship, or we are just studying and parents are sending us money, whatever, right? Freelancers. We always feel thoda paise, some money should be in the saving. If I had some money, I'll travel somewhere. Or if I had some money, I'll start a business of my own. If I had some money, I would be more flexible of choosing a job which suits me, rather than being forced in a place where I just jump into the first opportunity or job that I get. Keeping all this in mind, saving money is one, and I will talk about self-awareness for that. One of the first thing is to be very harsh and truthful to yourself. The most important thing is to stand up to yourself and say, I am getting this much money in my hand monthly, and I am spending so much. Why am I spending so much? Is it required, or is it a hobby, or is it just addiction, or is it just influence, peer pressure? Be aware of yourself. Know yourself. If I'm earning so much, do I have the potential to earn more? Can I bring more money? Can I save more money? What is it that is stopping me? Like for me, right? Think about it. 3 years I had built on myself, on my fitness. I could have aram se said, it's okay. I've come this far. I'll struggle for another 3-5 years, but I will get my goal. I don't need a help. I don't need the coach. I could have decided that. But it was self-awareness that I knew, okay, if 3 years, 4 years, I couldn't get a consistent control over my weight and health and mental and financial stability, I need a professional help. That was my awareness. So being aware of your strengths and weaknesses is the first skill set that you have to have. Then the next is tools such as journaling, feedback, reflection moments. You won't believe it. I don't know if you will see it, but I have this in one of my folders. I don't know if I can show you. Do you see this? These are all the apps that I use as tools. And I'll tell you, one app is heart rate pacer. It measures my heart. Every day I monitor my heart rate. Next is my Apple Health. In that health, I check my statistics like blood pressure, everything. I check that. I put my weight every day, okay? Then there is a pacer. Pacer takes care of my measurement of steps, how many steps I did. Then there is Fitbits, Fit Days. That is on my weighing scale, which checks my BMI, which checks my muscle mass, my fat mass, everything through my scale. Then there is Apollo medical store for all my online consultations. Do you know, every 3 months, I do a complete 120 different checking of my blood, from thyroid to from with everything, right? I know my stats. Then there is ETO, that is to measure my calories, how many calories I am eating. I just scan my food and it tells me how many calories. Then there is body fast, that is for the number of hours I'm fasting for intermittent fasting. These are all the apps that I use as tools. Apart from this, I journal every day. Journal is, I take a book, I just dictate journaling to that thing on a virtual thing about how my yesterday was. Did I do my professional work properly? Was I productive? All these things. And then that's when helps me to be on track. Nothing can be done by myself. Then there is my fitness coach. Then there is my wellness coach. These are all the support tools that keeps me on the track. So please do not think you're Superman or a superhero, that you can all do it by yourself. You definitely need help. Then comes the courageous letting go. How many of us keep telling, you know what, just now even Kshitija asked, right? I keep thinking, but I don't do it, right? Letting go is our problem. Where we don't let go of our bad habits, don't let go of habits that will give space to the new habits. So please make sure that you have the courage to let go. In fact, on my fridge, there is a sticker where somebody is hanging from the cliff desperately, and the sticker says, I have letting go problems. Right? So literally, I keep telling myself, it's okay to let go. It's okay. Like I told you, right, in my career, 18 years of co-founder. I had done nothing in my life without him. We both did it together. But when I came at a point at a 55 years or 54-year-old, in July I'll be 55. 54 years old, I realized that I will grow faster, greater by myself. I decided to make sure that I move forward by myself. And letting go of that co-founding was my biggest challenge. But I did that, right? So be courageous to let go. The biggest enemy of growth is past success and past failure. The biggest enemy. Please remember that. Those who have succeeded last year, in the past, they'll also sit and say, yeah, I've done it. I know it. I can do it whenever I want. I don't need to worry about it. I've done it once, I can do it again. And those who have failed in the past, they also have this mind block saying, yeah, I've tried it, it didn't work. So it's not going to work even now. These thoughts are your worst enemies, biggest enemy. If you've succeeded in the past, not necessary that you don't have to start reinventing yourself right now, because time is the essence. And if you failed in the past, even more so, because no matter what you do now would be different from what you did then. The times would be different. Your knowledge will be different. You would have grown more as a leader. You would have the right tools, right support systems. You would have come across a talk like this. So please do not make your biggest enemy your friend and keep getting stuck over there. Any questions so far? We've come to the last part now. This is the last 2 minutes, and then I'm going to open it for Q&A because I don't think there are too many Q&As. Now I'm just going to give you a framework, a 4-step framework in regards to how you can reinvent yourself. Any questions? If not, I'll proceed because we're already 8 o'clock now. Okay, let's move forward. The framework. The first thing what you have to do.
Ma'am, sorry, I got deleted. Do you I mean, the discussions are going great, but I still feel you need a lot of time to discuss more, because the moment you're talking, I'm getting more questions. But do you recommend a book or something which I should start with? Because it's a complete mindset change for me.
Yes.
It's not straightforward. 20 years of service, and then I'm thinking I should do something else, and which I desperately want to do. But it comes with a lot of blockages. Anything to start with, at least to get into that mindset that I'll be able to do it better. I mean, I have 50-50 thoughts, One mind is like, I can do this wonderfully. Second is, no, don't have resources, I can't do. And it's completely 50-50. So do you suggest something?
So there are 2 parts to it. Are you a reader?
I am, but not a rigorous reader, but I do love reading. And I do not have a set of books, but yes, I can read at a stretch if it's interesting.
And are you a reader who will read and start implementing changes that you've learned from the reading?
Yeah, I do that. I do that.
Okay.
I don't know how useful they are, but I try to pick up and try to implement what I've read.
Okay. So one thing I would like to tell you, Kshitija, is that reading is absolutely out there. There are quite a few books that you can read. In fact, you can just Google top 5, top 10 books that are good for early stage entrepreneurship, or idea to MVP. There are too many books there. But my practical suggestion to you is till you have invested yourself with clear times, productivity, thinking about it, researching, reading from various platforms rather than books, like go to entrepreneur.com. There are a lot of articles over there. Go to yourstory.com. There are a lot of success stories of startups over there. When you start doing investing time in this, that's when you're committed to it. Because what happens most often, I've seen with young entrepreneurs, is they take a success story book, they read it, they'll look at all the gyans, and they'll be like, what, it's good for them, I can't achieve that. You can't compare your day 1 to day 100, right? So usually I suggest books when you've reached a place where you've invested yourself enough and you are committed to it. Then I would say start reading first blogs and things like that, and then move to a book is what my suggestion.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, let me just quickly finish off the framework and then we'll open questions, as long as, because I don't want to keep everyone after 8 o'clock. It's already 8:05. The framework is 4 things. Please make a note. And this you can apply, this framework you can apply for you, Kshitija, to start reinvent yourself as an entrepreneur. First, audit, vision, design, and execute. Audit is the phase where I'm telling you that where you are today in your mindset as an entrepreneur. As you said, you are 50-50, right? What is that 50 which stands for being an entrepreneur? What is that 50 which is against it? Evaluate that. See if the against can be coming here. Can you work around it? Do a complete audit of your mindset on whatever you want to reinvent. Then the second thing, put a vision to your reinvention. In others case, if someone like Abhilasha wants health, right? So in the health, put a vision. I want to become healthy in this form, like maybe I don't know, weight, or my health statistics, or some illness which you have, or sleeping disorder, whatever, right? You need to become better at it. So put a vision, and then design in the sense, for that big vision, now design 2-3 small steps. Don't go for big plans. Don't go like in Shatija's case. Don't say, I want to register a company, no, do a domain, do a website. Don't go for these big plans. Start with small. Start with small things. Say, okay, I want to try the services as a WhatsApp or a free IG page and see if it works. Small design, small steps, and then start executing. Do it. Because with every execution comes your knowledge, which will take you to the hockey stick growth. So with that, I've come to an end of the session. It's 8:07. We started at 8:10. I'm leaving around 2-3 minutes for questions. There are two links that I have put. One link is about my feedback on my reinvention of how it went, how it happened. And another link is my coach's website. Please go to the testimonies. If you see the testimonies, you'll actually see that he's coached a lot of corporates, lot of people in jobs, lot of entrepreneurs, business leaders. You'll get a lot of information from his site as well. He's got his YouTube channel as well. You can read a lot about it. So you'll get to know a lot. Apart from this, if you need any help, one-on-one sessions, please ping me, take my number. Abhilasha, can I put my number here?
Sure. Yeah.
And my email ID. You can always WhatsApp me on that number, or you can email me and see if we can get on a quick one-on-one call, and maybe I'll be able to help you out for your own specific requirement. But as a group, I hope I was able to add value to your last hour. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and all the very best to all of you.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Salma. On behalf of all attendees, we extend our sincere gratitude um, for leading today's Enlightenment webinar. Your insights on business growth, team enlightenment, and deep tech commercialization were truly valuable. And we deeply appreciate your time, expertise, and the clarity with which you shared your experience with us. Thank you a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Anupriya, for putting that message. And thank you to each one of you. And I hope you guys get your reinvention going, and tell me the success stories when you achieve them. Thank you so much.
Definitely. Thank
All
you.
the best, Kshitija. You really made very interactive engagement, and I'm here for you if you want to get on a call sometime.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.